Hi everyone, Pamela here. A little bit of a late start today after the late night last night, but it was a fun night with Rivers. If you got a chance to watch our workshop together. So while we're waiting for people to join in, I'm just going to go through some of the Gold Star Frequency deck. Again, this is available on my website for those of you who are interested. It's pamelabusby.com. Prosperity. I know what I'm doing. Hi, Amber. I am love. I can feel that one pouring out today. It feels good. I'm just going to sit tight with this one for a minute because it feels so good. Feel it expanding my heart chakra. So warm and fuzzy. Of course, you know, we're always hard on ourselves, and I think that's what I'm feeling is how I've been hard on myself this morning and last night. So I feel like this one is coming in to help me with that. The self-judgment. I have what I need. I exist. Faith. This one's another one pouring out. It's more like gushing out. Oh, these are so crucial, crucial, crucial. You know, the law of attraction. We keep wanting to be all these glorious ideas from our vantage point of the impurities that we see of ourselves. And these frequencies are ways to put us on the opposite end of the stick, to more align with those things that we say we want. I know who I need to know. I am part of all that is. I am divinely guided. All is well. Allowance. The all is well one is coming out. I'm just going to allow that one to be for a moment. Hi, Ruth. You know, this one, it just reminds me, we're so caught up in our details, in our maze, that we don't allow ourselves to feel okay where we are in our maze. And I feel like this one is coming out to play with us for that reason. You know, the other day I was thinking about the notion of life as a race and how we keep wanting to get further and further and further. Hi, Ra. How we keep wanting to get further and further and further and accomplish this and accomplish that, and the frustrations of not being where we want to be. And it made me wonder, you know, is it our potential that we want to fulfill? Are we trying to get as far as we can? What is it that makes it feel like a race? Like speed and distance is the be-all, end-all. Versus the experience and the growth as we go through it. Good morning, Elise. Or afternoon, I think. What makes us think that, is it the concept that we think we'll get farther if we go further faster? Rather than understanding it's the exploration and the enjoyment of it. And yet I'm as guilty as the next person, wanting to get further faster. I don't deny that. And yet it makes me realize, you know, the impacts that we have along the way. Do we want to brush those aside so quickly? Do we really want to rush that to further ourselves? So just some food for thought today. Allowance. I know what I want. Consciousness. I'm just going to compare those two for a moment. I know what I want and consciousness. And it kind of goes back to what I was just saying about this race. And for sure, SJ, all limitations we think we have, whether it's time, opportunities, resources. I know what I want and trying everything we can to get there. Versus the consciousness of the project, the undertaking of the effort, of the actions, of the unfolding. It almost feels like they're contradictory. When there's a push in this one. Interesting. I am enough. Okay, now I feel drawn to compare these two. I am enough and consciousness. Consciousness, again, is the overall awareness of what we're going through, what we're enduring, what we are unfolding in the process. I feel like when we know that we're enough, that the pressure of I know what I want and that goal isn't so pushy, isn't so strong, isn't so adamant, isn't so dominant. Just food for thought, again. The kind of mood I'm in, apparently. I know what I need to know. I know my value in truth. I know where I'm going. SJ says, yes, it's very similar to being receptive versus Allah's already there. Indeed. I align my will to divine will. And I know who I am. Iris asks, how to heal my diabetes? And I feel like this, I know who I am, is part of that. Because the aspect of your body that is crying out for attention, to be heard for its messages, works with the soul to understand. I want to see if Melchizedek wants to come through with any more of that for you, Iris. When you understand that the illness that you have claimed may serve a purpose to remind you of one element or another. It can be the stories of family. It can be the stories that you have known and understood and therefore agreed to. It can be the information that is prevalent in your cell system. This frequency of I know who I am, when spoken to your cells, will bring your divinity more into your cells, allowing this frequency to work with your cells, to remind them that they are holy, that they are divine, will allow you to see yourself in a different light, perhaps in a different storybook. The frequency of I know who I am transcends the information that is in there to absolute truth and to wisdom and understanding. Working with this frequency would be very beneficial to you, and speaking it and claiming it to yourselves. We are grateful that you have asked this question, so that we may touch on the subject of the holiness of the body and how the cells retain memory, whether again from family, from history, from society. Understand that as you claim, I know who I am, in your cells, you may be required to make changes. You may be required to take different actions that have been taken in the past, but this frequency will support you also in those actions as they come up to be considered by you. I know who I am will support you in this, in letting go of the story, and in claiming health in your cells. Again, we would say, speak to your cells because they are alive and intelligent, and claim, I know who I am through my cells. Hi, Kavella. Amber says, I was told that my guides do not take a human form. They are more a light source, possibly from another planet. Is that why I have had such a hard time connecting with them? Let's see what wants to come through for you, Amber. Taking a human form is a choice. There are many beings that who have not taken on the challenges, be it from their creation standpoint, their desires, their mission itself. We do not feel that the difficulty in connecting with them is because of this, as you feel this difference in frequency. We feel that the distance is more about understanding how they communicate, their style, and allowing them to know and understand what you have and have not perceived. Imagine for a moment, if you will, someone who is in between realms, who has let go of their body and has not crossed over into the spiritual realm and connected with their soul body, their soul essence. They will try means to be heard and understood in forms that they are familiar with, in ways they are familiar. Now, the human who longs and misses this person may sense them near, but may not fully understand how near and why. Yet, when you let them know that you do hear them, they are more apt to use that signal more strongly. And as they do, you become more fine-tuned to receiving in that way. We feel this is similar between your guides and you, where it is more of a understanding and learning curve on how to work with each other. We would first of all suggest that they are part of you and with you, allowing yourself to understand that they are available and accessible. The notion that it must be difficult or it is only for a chosen few is also hindering your receptivity. And we would suggest to work with them to release both of those illusions to bridge that gap before you. I am divinely guided would assist you in this endeavor of working together to bridge that gap, the understandings and the illusions of what it takes for this deep, true, meaningful, and experiential experience. In other words, for you to feel it more in your everyday experience, your life as you move forward. I am divinely guided is the frequency that we would recommend to increase this for you. Apparently, they wanted to start with the Ask Melchizedek first, which is really cool. Are there other questions in particular that you'd like to ask him? Amber said that really helped. Thank you both. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. No other questions for now, it seems like. So let's see if there's a frequency that they want to come through other than what has come through already. Okay, 2 came out, which surprises me because working with 2 of them at the same time is usually very strong. I am enough, and I know my value in truth. So we're going to let these come out. They fit together very nicely, don't get me wrong. They're just very strong when there's 2 of them, but they must have a reason. There's often very conflicting energies of knowing your worth, your value, your truth. And so we bring to you both of these frequencies today to help you understand that you, as a soul, are again part of all that is. That is learning, growing, experiencing. And that was the 3rd one that actually had come up, and I thought, well, that's too many. When you know who you are, a piece of divinity itself, and you feel that truth, then there is never a question of being enough. There is simply the understanding of who you are and your place within it all. The understanding that who you are is the God piece in you experiencing through your eyes, your feelings, your experience, and how honored it is to be able to do this through you, using you as the resource to be able to feel, taste, touch, sense, and understand. Then your value to all that is, to God, to the universe, becomes understood and valued for it what it is, this ability to share and experience in your own unique way, as though you were separate. And we say to you, you are not separate. The idea, because you have a body, because you have your own perspective, as everybody has their own perspective. Shines forth from this glory of God in your own experience. The deliciousness of understanding, of feeling, of sensing. But this idea of separateness is where we are stressing to work through with you today. The idea of separateness from that which you are, because you have your own understandings. But if you can understand the basis of why you are experiencing this, why you are sent out to feel, taste, touch, explore, then maybe you won't be so hard on yourself. Because then just maybe you will realize the bigger function that you provide. The expansion of all that is. This is the benefit that you bring in all your perceptions of self. In all your ideas of self. And the God within you wishes to help you realize that you are indeed part of Him, of it. I am part of all that is. It's so profound. Once you understand the truth, the reasoning, the ability, we are so grateful to have this conversation with you today, to help remind you of who and what you truly are. It is with great joy that we exclaim this with you, that we touch this with you. I am part of all that is truth. And I feel him step back. Wow, that's mind-blowing. I mean, holy cow, when you think about it that way, it gives such a different vantage point, doesn't it? And I'm feeling such a burst of love. It's a very, very different vantage point than worrying about value and worrying about being enough. Hi, Rhonda. With the understanding of what he just brought through. I don't know. Deep touch, humbling, offload very nicely. Thank you. That was probably the most profound message that I have received through him. Thank you for all being here and witnessing this. And may you take it deeply to heart too in the realization. And now I also understand why he did the questions before the frequency today. And with that, I am going to close up for today. Thank you all for joining me. May this touch you as deeply as it has me. Okay. Bye for now, everyone. Much love to you all.